Welcome to Allotex. Allotex is a Boston-based startup. We are focusing our solutions for patients with vision problems to provide improved vision and better vision for millions of patients. Our proprietary processes allow to scale up, quality controlled, and process human donor tissue, allogenic material. Our first target market, presbyopia, represents a multi-billion opportunity. Presbyopia, we all have seen people getting up and looking for their glasses. And by the age of about 40, 45, you're starting to experience that your ability to see objects close by is deteriorating. This is a natural progression of your vision, and it's called presbyopia, the loss of the ability of near vision and reading vision. How do we solve that problem? We have developed a corneal implant, a corneal inlay, based on human donor tissue that we sterilize, and in a short 10 minutes procedure, surgeons can easily implant that tiny little piece of material into the human cornea. The human cornea is important to understand, represents most of the optical effect of the human eye. If we change the shape of the human cornea, we can manipulate and optimize the vision of patients. And by adding a 25 micron thin layer with a diameter of about 2.5 centimeters, we allow patients to have perfect reading vision, perfect intermediate vision, and perfect distance vision. So what is our secret formula? How can we succeed? Important for all patients is the visual quality, the visual outcome. And second, the safety, the biocompatibility of the material. Let me explain you over the next 2 slides how we achieve that. First of all, talking about vision is we need to understand the vision problem. The vision problem is that presbyopic patients suffer from the situation that they cannot see close by. So cell phones, newspapers, laptops can only be seen with readers. That's the only solution today. Now with our implant, we can change that completely. We allow an implant in one eye, which we call the non-dominant eye, and then your brain adjusts between the distance and the intermediate and the near vision. So we give you a full range vision from distance to near with our implant. Safety is key in every medical procedure, especially if it's elective medicine like a presbyopia correction. How do we achieve the safety? The material is key, and what we are utilizing is allogenic corneal material. We're using sterile corneal human donor tissue that we can process. So why can we succeed? The cornea, the front part of the eye, as I showed you before, has a specific immune privilege because there are no blood vessels. And therefore, we can easily transplant or implant other human tissues from an allogenic donor. Of course, theory is great. You have to prove it with clinical results. So we performed a multi-center clinical trial in Europe. We had 5 study sites across Europe, and we treated more than 100 patients. And where you can see on the right side is, pre-op patients had very good distance vision, 2016, but pre-op they were suffering from poor intermediate and near vision. After the procedure, we could provide the patients excellent distance, excellent intermediate, and excellent near vision, and all our safety endpoints were achieved. Now, how does this compare to other solutions? Presbyopia is a huge market with billions of patients, and there's different solutions out there. the most dominant solution is simply getting your readers. But readers have limitations, they're inconvenient, and they have aesthetics limitations. Others promote to use drugs instead of surgical procedure, which sounds on the first place very attractive. However, we will share with you that they are lacking from efficacy. If we compare, especially with drugs that are getting very prominent at the moment, we can demonstrate that our technology is significantly better, regaining on average more than 5 lines of near vision and up to 10 lines of near vision, where our competition lags significantly behind. And I think we can say we're simply better in terms of any presbyopia drug. So how big is this market? Of course, there's about 2 billion patients out there. But if you narrow it down to the addressable market, considering the numbers of patients that undergo every year laser refractive procedures, which, by the way, we can offer an additional support for patients that had previous laser surgery, we can narrow this down to about a 1.5 to 2.5 billion business in the key markets, US and Europe. So what's the key for our technology? We can shrink it down to 3 key elements. Key element 1 is the tissue processing. The innovation that was developed over the last years is to take donor tissue, sterilize it, and provide a shelf life at room temperature of about 2 years. The other evolution, and this is an in-house development, is we can use precise excimer laser technology, which allows on a sub-micrometer accuracy level to shape those implants with high precision under controlled environments. And last but not least, especially over the last 5 years, metrology has significantly improved. So we're now today able, on a scalable element, to do metrology of each lenticle and provide quality for each product leaving our facility. What's the economy perspective here? As I mentioned, we're sourcing human donor tissue from our partner eye banks in the United States. We process the tissue and make out of one single cornea, we can do 100 corneal implants, which makes it very cost efficient in terms of cost of materials. And with a target price of up to $1,000 in the key markets, we think we have a very high margin product that is scalable and highly reliable under quality control. So what's our next steps? We are in the planning and progressing a phase 3 US FDA clinical trial. Refractive surgery, a lot of studies have been done in that field, so it's kind of a well-known activity we need to do, and our team has great experience in performing refractive surgery studies in the United States. We're looking at the 360 eye study, about 10, 15 study sites, and with efficacy follow-up at 6 months and safety at 12 months. In Europe, we have a much more interesting situation in terms of time to market. In Europe, we are regulated as tissue product, so therefore there is no barrier for market entry, and therefore we think we can enter the market within the next 12 months after funding. Last but not least, I think it's worth to mention, we are experienced, David and I, we are co-founders of Allotex. We're both in the field of ophthalmology and making ophthalmology products happen over the last more than 30 years. We have brought multiple products to the market and also had the joy of successful exits. So what's the next step? We're looking for a raise of a Series B to progress our US clinical trials and our EU market launch. And we're looking for partners to develop the company and move our company towards a real platform technology that not only can solve presbyopia, but has other products in the pipeline that are very attractive, for example, for dry eye, for myopia, and for hyperopia.